Hello friends, space people of Earth. I hope you're surviving the apocalypse out there, in here, or wherever in hell we are. My name's Jasmine, your millennial fairy, to deliver a message from the ether, or outer space, or aliens, or God, or wherever we coming from. So, today, I had to re-record this message because it doesn't matter why. So here we are. The star. You are showing up as a character that has identified a wish that you made. You're remembering a time when you were a lot more pure and were able to separate yourself from all the crazy. And you've moved in the direction of your heart so many times that it has led to countless moments of disagreement, attack, hateful energy. You've really been closed up for a while from opening yourself up. But I see you discovering that reality is changing in front of our eyes. There's a reason you had to be so aloof and standoffish and have had to push things out, because there's an attack on this pure energy of everyone. And here you are, you're this pure energy that has had to close up their heart. And the reason that you were encouraged or pressured to close up your heart is because you being so open and vibrant and loving and pure and divine really pisses off anything that's in opposition to that. So all the realm of, just to make it easy to understand, demons and the dark forces, you've ruffled some feathers. And I see you discovering what it is you want to do here on Earth. You didn't come here to play games. You came here to build a new world. You're part of the new Earth. You're building a new space and time where you make choices and decisions based on things that you understand to be true, not what books and people from the past say because they want to live in the past, but actually building a foundation of knowledge, of wisdom, from mythology all the way on. Like, you don't want just repetition and school that makes you do this repetition, repeat. While discipline is important and necessary, you see a new way out. You see a different way. You've been through time and space now to understand how much of this is fake, how much of this is a lie. Like, we've been lied to for so long. And I see you really developing your halo here. You're really discovering excuse me. You're really discovering how empty you feel and how empty many people are feeling, because we aren't connecting anymore. But that was the trick. You're really seeing the trick. You're seeing that people have been wearing masks your whole life. Whether it was a parent, a teacher, someone in authority, you probably encountered all of the adults as you were growing up in your life. 90-something% of them were probably wearing a mask, probably fake. And you are really pissed off or upset or rediscovering how you want to live and what does your crown look like. Is it rubies and jewels, or is it freedom and leisure? You're putting on a different kind of crown. You're not to the mindset traditions of repeat, follow orders and do everything slow and keep up with the old world. You're very invested in the new world. You're here to help people take off their masks, take back your power, their power, our power, because you've lived in a world of cold, desolate, isolated, forgottenness. You've lived in the realm of being forgotten. So I see you blocked here with anger. Because when we're pure, here you are in your purity, sitting up here making a wish in this castle, in your peace and quiet. You made this wish out of purity, and then something came and defiled you, and what do you call it? So in youth, you were so defiled that you feel you're so corrupted that you can't be as pure as you used to be. So the anger is very projected outward because it's very angry. It's upsetting to understand that, to realize that you were lied to about Santa Claus. You were lied to about the Tooth Fairy. You were lied to about 9 to 5. You were lied to about a future of, you know, you were just like encouraged to do all of this. And in some way, shape, or form, this corrupted you. And I see you recognizing how open your heart was part of the way the enemy got in. The pure openness of your heart really allowed all in, good and bad. And you've discovered a special, you turn it off and on when you're ready. Like, you can close your heart and open your heart. You're learning that, at least, and discovering where to thread your needle, because you really want an abundance. You don't want stuff. Like, this reading is very clear to me that things don't matter to you. You're very uninterested in things. You're very interested in people, love, companionship, a social life filled with people that act in authentic, like real, act authentically. And you're discovering that the phones and communicating and texting, you just can't really understand people that way. Texting is dumb. Unless you're like, hey, you know, like, it's good for some things for sure. But in the overall grand scheme of things, you can't really connect with a person through text messaging. And I see you understanding that, because we now have a generation of people who do that and don't quite understand how to root themselves and ground themselves in reality. So it's very, very critical for you to discover what that means, to really find a foundation. That's what traditions are good for. So as rebellious as I am, as an Aquarius, I see certain traditions as ways to ground ourselves. That way we don't get too fluttery and too obscure, like where we just kind of like float around and do everything else rather than what it is we're set to do. Like, instead of seeing squirrel, 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 we're like focused on our mission to where we want to go. And it's not that we always need to be on mission or orientate ourselves to something. But I think when it comes to relationships and people and companionship, there is stability needed. We have to be grounded and stable to be in partnership with another. And I see you really discovering the hard work that goes into that, and what it means to cultivate that. It's not an easy task. And many times people end up in relationships where they do wear a mask. And nobody wants to do that. it's too easy to just leave a relationship like that, to just bounce, to be out, close the door, I'm done with this, not interested, no thanks, I'm gonna find something else. This card here, the Wailing Tree of Reconciliation. It's a really interesting energy because it's like, you know, you've learned that you've opened up your heart. You've learned that you can easily be betrayed by loved ones. You want to build a foundation. You want to have safety and security and, you know, your needs met. But it's so absolutely painful to root yourself into the ground, to root yourself onto earth, because we've just kind of given away our roots, our foundations. We've given them away to these devices. We almost feel like people are killing over phones. It's crazy. It's a projection. It's a fake tool. It's a tool that we alchemized and are able to project frequencies and energies through. Simple as that. But we've became a slave to it, right? And you are feeling the pain of this. And you're trying to figure out, well, how do I find a connection? It's through touch. Like, you see how, I don't know if you can see this card because it's real foggy. But it's a person and their consciousness is materializing while they're in some sort of spirit form, and holding their hand out in this way is like, it's like you're trying to reach and touch, like, you know, like we're trying to touch through the phones, but in some way, shape, or form, that's just not enough. Like, I can't touch you through here. So it leaves you feeling pain. You just are sitting here in this fetal position, holding yourself in pain. This is a very cold energy as well. You're trying to find this warmth, this love, this companionship. I see you questioning if you even want to be here anymore. You definitely don't want to play these games anymore. You're not interested. You don't care about the jewels. You don't want luxury. You're not even interested in it. It's not even appealing anymore. What you want, it's time to replenish. You want to fill your well. Your well's empty. You're looking down this well of like nothingness. You're just like, what is the point? Why am I even doing any of this? I see this tug, this back and forth, this pull between your elevated higher self and your lower self, struggling to take center stage. You know you want to develop this halo. I see you wanting to develop this halo and really sit high in this angelic, you want your crown or your halo to be of heaven, of truth. So that's why we're so heavily invested into the ethereal, so heavily invested into spirituality and the occult and what's going on in our imaginations, and connecting to synchronicities, vibrations and frequencies that come through in ways that we can't quite explain to others. That's very appealing and very needed in a world that's so dense, so heavy and toxic. But in some way, shape, or form, think about it, baby making like doesn't happen unless we connect, unless we can come together, man and woman, to create a child. Otherwise, we have a reality full of foster children and orphans, or no children. Some way, shape, or form, sex, connection, and romance, relationships, some of these 3D things that seem we're losing the spark. We're losing that orgasmic connection to each other, that draw, that when we smell someone's pheromones or sense something in a person that we just know we need to connect to them, we're losing the ability to hold on to that. Well, sure, you can go get it in a moment, you could go access it in a moment, but the longevity, the foundation, the ability to take this ecstasy into the future is what we're lacking here. That's what you're trying to find. You're really searching for it. You're looking at books, you're looking on the internet, but at the same time, I see you struggling to hold on. I'm sorry I left you when you were young. I'm learning so much from you, and I didn't mean what I said. I see things differently now. So I feel like this is a parent. I see it could either be a parent or ancestors. It's just something about when you were little and you maybe confronted or expressed something, you confronted somebody or expressed something to a parent or an adult of some kind, an older person than you, and they lied to you. I don't know if you could have said something as simple as, "Mom, is Santa Claus real?" And she said, "Of course." And you were like, "Good. I'm so glad that Santa Claus is real." And then you, in good faith, went to bed, woke up, Santa gave you all these presents, and you were just so happy. And then 10, 20 years goes by, you find out Santa's not real. And you're looking at your mom like, why would you lie to me like that? What did that do to my psyche? What do simple lies like that do to a child's psyche when the first God a child meets is their parent, their mother usually, right? And a lot of what we're doing is so out of alignment with what makes sense to be manifested into a physical consciousness. If we want to be here on earth and do earth things, we can't be all ethereal in some way, shape, or form. We have to be intelligent and wise here and really think about this philosophically. Like, why did my parent lie to me? Was my parent lied to? Can I understand through my parents' eyes why they lied to me? Have I asked my parent about this? Have I communicated how I feel? Did I communicate with love and understanding? I'm seeing this is the first card I pulled out, was the prayer, because I think what's the message here is prayer and connection is being forgotten. Stillness, the ability to be still, to be calm, to be in prayer, to be really in it for the right reasons, the reasons that, you know, the same thing that makes us connect and want to socialize versus go out and be psychopaths. There's a reason we connect to prayer and to divinity and to morals, values. There's a system to three-dimensional time and space. And as we progress in maturity and wisdom, we get to have these epiphanies, these access moments to understanding, right? Understanding is a hard one. Forgiveness is a hard one. And to evolve here, to grow your wings, to develop your halo, to access your codes that are going to activate your gifts, your spiritual gifts. That's even a limiting way to honestly say that, but gifts through spirituality maybe is how I want to say that. It's going to require you to also be human. So this is a very flighty, ungrounded feeling that I'm sensing, and you're like, well, why don't I have this? Why don't I have a partner? Why can't I keep my partner? Why can't I materialize what I'm trying to materialize or manifest? And it's all because I see a lot of ethereal and a lot of wishful imagination like thinking, and less practical understanding of the boundaries of time and space that we're limited to, all the little details that we don't want to get lost in. We don't want to get lost in the devil and the details, but we want to understand the world we're in. It's not that this is hell at all times and forever. It's that it can be hell for an individual or heaven. It can be hell for a group or heaven. It can be hell for the collective or heaven. What your mission at this moment seems to be is you want to get out of hell and access your personal heaven within the confines of a collective hell. And in collective hell can be very uncomfortable and chaotic, that it makes us triggered and react and come from this emotional space. And when we react like that, it doesn't allow our waters to flow. It doesn't allow our heightened awareness, our intuitive skills, our gifts to come through, because we're in this reactive, limited perception. When you need to eat a lot of food, you need a lot of stuff and possessions and things. That kind of world can really deny you. And the most beautiful girl in the world. Dun, 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 dun. What's the song? It's Prince. Most beautiful girl in the world. Yeah, he wrote that. Okay. I'm even seeing that though. Okay. Sorry. The most beautiful girl in the world. Moon energy. You're the reason that God made a girl. That's what that was. So I see you falling for the tricks of the matrix that make us believe that we need to go and seek and do all these other things that make no sense to love, to connection, to family, and to friends. No sense to go do those other things. But connecting to your moon energy is connecting to your emotions and connecting to your heart space and how you feel. And once you're able to run forgiveness and understanding through those channels, you really open up your heart space to such a pure and divine way to connect, that you access this wisdom, this channel that's just between you and the divine, just between you and source, creator, connection. Oh yeah, and then the gift comes through. Look at that. That's the present. Being in the present, being in the moment. Let me see. You're the reason that God made a girl. Most beautiful thing in the world. Yeah, because when we're little, there's so much greatness to maturity and getting older and the wisdom that comes. When it comes to my mental, I would never want to trade it for what I was 10 years ago, 20 years ago, because of how much I understand now, how much I can help or put a hand out for someone else. Like, it's like I'm just a lot more secure in myself in my 30s than, you know, how I felt in my 20s. So it's this elevation to a mindset, a state of awareness that you're gaining access to. Because all that glitters ain't gold. Like, you're really discovering that it's not about the glitter and the glam and the, yeah, because what's hidden, what's the illusion? Always be looking for an illusion. Anytime something comes bombarding in your reality, like an ad or something, it's because it wants to distract you from something that you could be doing, that you'd feel a lot more fulfilled and help and loving. And it may not be like you're a superstar on stage somewhere with lots of money in the bank, but you feel love, you feel connection, you feel satisfied, you're content, you got a connection with the divine, you maybe have a partner, maybe you guys have a kid, maybe you guys have 10, but you have love, and that's what makes up for everything else. No matter how dismembered everything becomes, you have relationships. I think that's the key here. These phones have us falsely believing that we're in relationships and connections, but a connection really involves like touch, physical touch, and to feel cared for, you need touch. You need to feel touched and cared for and loved. Because I sing for the moment, yeah. Because I sing for the kids who don't have a thing except for a dream and a fucking rap magazine, who posting pictures all day long, idolizing their favorite rappers and know all their songs. Because there's a generation of kids and people out there who don't have that. We're in this new time. Because 50 years ago, 100 years ago, you didn't have good parents. You could still go outside and find friends. You could go find friends and people that you vibed with. Easy. Now it's like insanely impossible to find connections because we've lost sight and touch with reality and what three-dimensional space can be. I understand it's hell right now, but you can have your own personal heaven bubble in hell if you can release forgiveness or release anger. Sing for the moment. What's he say? Sing for the... It knows how to find a way. Yeah, sing for the moment, Eminem. Because it's about idolizing people that you want to be like, or something that's not you. Idealizing something else is better than you. You're not good enough. You're not colorful enough. You're not divine enough. You're not pretty or tall enough. You were designed and created for your own unique personal experience. Everyone has something to love about them. And I see you discovering, when you look in this mirror, that it's not who you are right at this moment. You're not in love with what you see right at this moment. But once you just, blow that up, you can see clearly that the mirror is a freaking fake, false illusion. And if you want to go make friends and find a partner person thing, you have to go find that person partner thing. You have to go out there and get that person partner thing. And you have to turn off the phone. The phone cannot be God. The phone is the imitation of creation. It can show you a beach. You can look at the phone and see an ocean, but it's not the same thing as going to the ocean. You have to go to the ocean to fully get the downloads of the ocean that will provide you with so much healing and mother, like you get your mama, your spiritual mama, like that embrace you need from a mom, you can get that at the ocean. And we're in this time where we just, it's the devil's world, but okay. Too many downloads. Okay, I just need to breathe for a second. I can't even shuffle. I'm sorry. Let me be an adult. I can't even shuffle. But I'm laughing because it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny how fast all this stuff comes in. It's overwhelming. Like I could sit here in my brain and just stare into outer space and be so entertained for how connected to the divine that is. It's like a moth to light, right? Like it's except for a dream rap magazine. Idolize their favorite rappers and know all their songs. Teacher. So, what are we learning? We're learning that love is the answer. That's the freaking truth. It's love. It's not about all this fast, progressive stuff that computers should be doing and we should not. We have a purpose, and a lot of it has to do with creating leisure. Like this is like a dream world. The access to stuff we have in this world is so not to be taken for granted. It's not to be taken for granted. It's not to fully deny, like, how do I say that? In your breath, now you got me in my space. I won't let go of you. So this is you learning what you want, how you want to materialize what you want, what you're willing to sacrifice and stand for, martyr. What you're willing to sacrifice. You're not willing to sacrifice love. You're not willing to sacrifice yourself in any inappropriate way either. This coming out, femme fatale, shadow, is inappropriate use of sensuality, attachment to money and power. You're not this is somebody who'd rather be homeless on the streets than have success, if that means they will have love or God or connection to the pure parts of reality that we somehow have lost touch with and forgotten. We have so many politics and rules that govern over our choices and what we know and believe, and there needs to be boundaries and borders and protections and all these things for freaking sure. But at some level, we're being asked to sacrifice our purity for attention and validation, and that is just absolutely not the truth. You do not have to show your body or to give your body away or to give your innocence, your purity, anything. Your sacred temple does not have to be sacrificed, because that sacred temple is the connection you have with divinity. I'm seeing young people be pressured to be sexual and to be something that they're not. And then I see wiser beings taking advantage of that, When I was 19 and I worked at a waitress at a strip club, dance club. And I just remember the men at the time, my 19-year-old brain didn't really know. It was fun. It was fun to work there. It was just a good time. And I'm now 34 and I'm like thinking about the inappropriate things that men were doing to me, or at me rather. It's like, and I'm talking worker, like the owner, right? People that work there, like 40-year-old men, and I'm 19. And it's just like the way that men perceive women, not men, that's not what I meant to say. The older mind, the more mature adult mind views the young mind, like under 25, under 23, under 22, like a young person, 17 to 22. It's just defiling. It's just an attack pretty much on the youth, on the purity. And I want to encourage you to say that you don't have to, it's not that you can't, it's not that anyone's telling you what to do, but it's saying you don't have to. That's not the attention doesn't come because you show your body or because you give away your purity to someone. That's not the way. That's not the value, because that's the destroyer, guys. That's what's trying to destroy everything. It's trying to destroy God's creation, and God's creation is an angel, a little baby, a little child that needs us mature folks to protect it, to empower it, to encourage it, to keep it safe. You can't just leave a baby out on the street. You can't just leave a toddler in the jungle. You can't leave a 7-year-old girl in the desert. You have to create a space where that child is protected for a certain amount of time. And I don't care about these law things that tell me about age and stuff, because obviously if I'm 19, I'm an adult. So if a 40-year-old man does something inappropriate at me, I almost again, it's like, what do people say now? It's like, she's of age. We need to get more courteous and respectful to how we're talking at young people. They're not objects. They still need protection. 19-year-olds need protection from older people that have a little bit of foresight into how they could succumb to the pressures and the societal demands upon them. I think that it's very challenging to see right now, and I'm going to encourage you to go within, go in your heart, close your eyes, and literally, I promise you, the spirit world behind your eyes, that you can access God through breath. We have so much access in here that we're losing touch with because we're giving all the power to the phones, and the phone is influencing us to make poor decisions and to not know right from wrong, real from fake. Is it a video game? Is it reality? Should I stay here? Should I go? There's so many questions. And I want you to be confident and secure in yourself to know that just because you're an adult, or just because somebody's an adult, or if they're not an adult, again, we're just talking about the purity of a soul. You could be 25 and raised so sheltered that you'd probably act 15. So it's really about the defiling nature of an older person, to identify what spirits are attached to them. So when you interact, you don't bring negative entities and spirits home that you didn't want to bring home, that are attached to you now, that now influence your thoughts and decisions, that now encourage you to do things that you don't really want to do. I think that this message is for someone contemplating their body image, body dysmorphia, how they're going to use their body to make money, something like that. Are you willing to sacrifice? You're being pressured from the outside, especially from, and I am so upset, I think, with older men, anybody who believes, I only said older men, not all older men. There's plenty equally great older men, but the men that do encourage 18, 19, 20, 21-year-olds, 22-year-olds to live who swindle their way into younger girls, who find their snaky little way in through confusion, abuse. Just you're older, go find someone older. Stop doing that. That's gross. It's not right. There's a variation, obviously, like, come on, there's a time and a place for certain things. I'm not a stickler for anything of whatever, but when it comes to predators, there's a distinct signature to a predator. It's a distinct signature. That person doesn't live in a holy life. They don't even think about God, because they're far away from divinity. They're heavily invested in lust or greed or wrath or gluttony, something. Identify these in people, because when you mix with these people, you become intertwined with that entity, pleasures, what they feed on, and then you become the slave of that. Recognize you are the temple, you are divine, you are holy, you are separate from anything that wishes to harm you, anything that wishes to destroy you. You are a divine light of love, of a consciousness, of a rainbow. You don't have to listen to left, right. You don't have to listen to blue, red, or polarized anything. Anything that's trying to pull you left or pull you right, screw all that. Walk this way. Nope. You literally need to think of your spirit team as bodyguards. Ask your spirit team everything. Is this good for me? If you're young enough, I promise you have so much grace, you have so much protection, you have so much love and light surrounding you to reach out to. That's why this came out first. That's why this prayer card came out first. You have a divine connection to God that can help guide you through all these crazy energies that are coming at you, because there's something about the apocalypse, the time is now, purity is under heavy attack, softness, love, anything of beauty, but it's okay. We're not gonna let them do that. We're not gonna let them, but that's what's under attack, is they're after your light. Don't let them have your light. Ask. When I say God, I don't imagine a bearded guy, even though I kind of do. Not that I think that that's what it is, but I kind of do, because everyone told me that growing up. But I always communicate to myself and anyone I'm connecting with that when I say that, I'm talking about the invisible force all around us that constantly we have access to. You could go in the jungle, you could go in the ocean, you could go anywhere on a rooftop somewhere all alone, and it's there. There's something there. What is that thing? That thing is God. That thing is what's connected to all of it, to the dark and the light. And when you tell it, when you say, hey God, I want to be good. I want to do good. I want to be in good. I want to have good things happen to me. Can you show me how to do that? Can you show me I want to be good, or what goodness is? Can you show me when evil or when badness comes around? Can you give me the discernment? Can you help me slow down enough to pay attention to what's happening to me, if this person's good for me or not? Don't ask anything outside of you besides that light, because if you weigh the decisions as it comes at you, what's good for you and what's not, each decision, something like this, giving away your body, you need to measure that person and what you're giving it to, or that platform or that source or whatever. If you're going to give your body away to a platform, like that whole platform has spells casted over it. Greed, lust, gluttony. Like you don't want to attach yourselves to energies that are going to pull you deeper into sin, which is just going far away from good, going far away from light in the narrow path. Here you are walking the narrow path. Oh, lust. And you veer off for X amount of time, you come back, you're like, okay, ooh, gluttony. And then you go get gluttonous for a minute, and you come back, you're like, ooh, pride, you know? It's always coming at you. Be prepared. Slow down. I understand technology is making us go crazy out here. Slow down. Take your time. Learn. Be a student. You have time for all those things, but do it with discernment. Do it with wisdom. Do it with proper guidance. If you haven't had that guide in your life, then maybe you're not ready. Maybe you're not ready for what it is you're seeking questions on. Be discerning. Be wise as you can. Slow and steady wins the race. You are worthy. You are good enough. You are valid, and you deserve to be on earth just like everyone else, experiencing a heaven or a goodness, a good experience. So love on yourself, take care of yourself, nurture yourself. Sometimes it's not the parents anymore. Sometimes we have to love ourselves. We have to give that love to ourselves. And our spirit world team, God, universe, all that, our ancestors, they're in there. Just like we got little entities telling us not good, we got the good too. So that's what I have. It's a long video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.